Hello and welcome to the OK Takes podcast. I am Matt Weiner, and as always, I'm joined by my fellow capo, Edward Vento. As of 1:29 p.m. West Coast time, the Dodgers are just the third team ever to clinch 9 consecutive playoff berths in a row. So we're going to talk some playoff berth, and then we're going to talk some Muncy JT picking things back up. Julio is actually a Cy Young candidate. Even though he won't win, it's still incredible what he's done this year. Gavin Lux has also been incredible since he's called up. Kenley has been incredible. And we're going to do a fun-sized preview against the Reds. So it's all incredible lately. But before getting into all that, I want to start off episode 28 with my Max Kellerman, fate of the universe on the line. If the Martians had a death beam pointed at me, take. Is that all right?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's okay to be happy about the 2021 regular season, even if it doesn't end up as us winning the division.
I would think so, but Dodger fans might disagree with that.
We're spoiled brats. We are just such spoiled brats. It's just incredible seeing what we're going through and the history behind this. Only 2 teams besides the Dodgers have clinched 9 consecutive playoff berths. The Braves did it when they won 14 times in a row from 1991 to 2005. The Yankees did it when they clinched 19 straight playoff berths from 1995 to 2007. But that's it. No other team in the history has done this, but our fan base could give less of a fuck.
Yeah. And I mean, it's disappointing to hear that type of talk from the fans because it is an incredible accomplishment. And it's not just because, we don't know that we're going to lose the division, but if we do, like, making the wild card game and making it to the postseason again is a tremendous accomplishment in its own right. And, I would favor our matchup against any of the 3 that are left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just want to wrap this up with a Dave Roberts quote on it, an presser. For once in my life, I'm actually interested in something he's had to say after the game. He said, this is just his quotes on it. So we did a little champagne toast, said a few words, and acknowledged the fact it's a big accomplishment. You don't ever want to get jaded and not appreciate getting to the postseason. It's not a rite of passage, which I thought was a perfect way of putting it. We're all very happy. We all want to recognize how incredible this has been, but kind of maintain that Mamba mentality of job's not finished.
Yeah, and it's like we've seen it the past few years with the Dodger teams. Like, they clinch the playoff berth, they don't really celebrate. They clinch the division, they don't really they celebrate, but they don't have a champagne shower. They save that type of stuff for the stuff that really matters, like winning postseason series, making it back to the World Series, winning a World Series. So I did love that quote. He did agree with us, and this is an incredible accomplishment, but there's a bigger task at hand, and that's winning again.
The only time we celebrate winning the division is if the other team has a swimming pool.
Yeah, exactly. Or if it's a walk-off in a game 163.
Yeah. Because that's a big fuck. I mean, that's incredible. I hope we don't have to take it there. But
no.
in this where we're at right now, something incredible could happen. So I want to say as well, like last wild card note, is the wild card game sets up something incredible as well. There's always a timestamp in history. I mean, I will never forget Brewers Nationals 2019. Ball gets through right fielder's legs. Nationals score 3 runs on the Brewers error, and it was awesome. You're always in for electricity when you get a wild card game.
Definitely.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I think obviously I want us to win the division, but a wild card game with Max Scherzer on the mound, the possibility of him pitching against a Adam Wainwright or a Wade Miley or a Yu Darvish would be quite the spectacle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so we might not even have to get there because Muncy and JT are finally pulling their weight again.
Yeah, I mean, Muncy continuing his MVP case, trying to prove why he should win it. He had 2 home runs in the last 2 games of this D-back series, and JT had 4 RBIs throughout the 3 games. So with those 2 guys hot, those 2 could alone carry our offense.
Mm-hmm. And it's incredible to note like how bad Muncy was in the month of August. This was his slash line. He hit 189, had an on-base percentage of 291, and ended up with an OPS of 758. This was the lowest on base percentage he's had in a month this entire year. By the lowest one before that was 340 in June, and was 340 in June. So by like 50 points, like, yeah, August was garbage for Muncy, but Muncy and Nukes are back.
Oh yeah, they're back big time.
Mm-hmm. And then same thing with JT, where those two guys, there's a big difference between their first and second half, where JT hit 15 home runs the first half, and thankfully he's hit 10 this half. But in in August, he had 2 home runs. That was it. And he's already doubled that number in September.
Yeah. And I mean, JT, like you said, 15 home runs the first half. He's not known as a guy to have power early on in the season. That's been a big thing with JT. He struggles to hit the long ball. So what he did early on was awesome. And the fact that he's kind of kept consistent throughout the year has been a huge boost. This is one of the better years of his career in LA.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad it's revamping. It's not going to end him like hitting in the low 270s. I think he can his batting average right now is 280. And I think he can even get above 285. If he ends up above 285, I mean, I don't think he'll win the Silver Slugger, but that's another incredible season he puts on his resume as a Dodger.
Oh yeah, man. What a signing he's been for us. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I mean, the guy who I just wanted to touch on that, give recognition where recognition is deserved. But Gavin Lux has been the guy I've been most interested this past series.
Oh yeah, Gavin Lux. It's been so good to see him come up and thrive, just because I know a lot of fans and a lot of people in LA media have kind of written him off as one of those prospects that, we refuse to give up in trades, and they kind of writ him off as a failure. And, he's not what Friedman in the scouting department thought he could be. And it's good to see him kind of try to silence those haters. And he's looked really good since he got called back up.
Mm-hmm. He's now 6 for 14 since being recalled. And he had 2 RBI base hits last night. But that's the thing with Lux, is that he will never be what we wanted him to be. That's just how it is. For every, like, I think I might have mentioned it last episode. I know I blogged about this, but it's like he will never be Corey Seager. He will never have the stature of a Walker Buehler or a Julio Urias or a Clayton Kershaw. So for all those incredible guys that we drafted that ended up blossoming into being parts of why this is our 9th time reaching the playoffs in a row, you're going to have a Gavin Lux. It's just how it is. But he's found his role. He's now just the bench utility guy that we've kind of been looking for in Zach McKinstry and Matt Beatty. So, yeah, he's found his spot, and it's good to see.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with knowing your role. There's nothing wrong with knowing who you are, accepting who you are, and excelling at who you are. And if Gavin Lux continues to do that, I don't see why he can't be a amazing bench player, rotational guy, utility man in the future.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There was one blunder. It happened on Monday night where he and Belly just collided. It was a T-bone.
Yeah, it was bad. The Dodgers, I feel like, have a lot of those moments where the outfielders collide. I don't know if you remember a game from a few years ago where Jock, Peterson, and Puig were running full speed and they collided. And Jock got hurt. And I feel like ever since then, it's like a thing. Dodger outfielders colliding. I don't know why. It's just weird.
It might just be because that moment has been so impactful and so pervasive in your head that it's like popping up more and more. But I'll be honest, I don't remember a moment that bad between Lux and Belly in recent memory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not specifically just those two guys, but I mean, also you're right. I was at the game when Puig and Jock collided. So maybe I was a little scarred by seeing it live because Jock looked like really hurt and he had to leave the game.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing trauma over and over.
Yeah. It's just flashbacks, traumatic flashbacks.
Mm-hmm. And with Lux, now it's a funny fuck up because nobody got hurt. And there was a screen. I mean, the camera panned to them the following inning where they're just laughing with each other and hugged it out. But that's the thing that's actually very fixable. So I don't even like, it's not even that big of a mistake, but just don't do it again. Because then
Yeah.
it's actually like, no, you're an idiot.
Yeah, don't let it happen again.
Everybody who's ever played baseball has practiced ball, you. It's really not that hard after the first time you mess it up to figure out who is going to catch the baseball.
Yeah, I mean, that's like day one. That's like practice day one. Call it out if you're going to make the play.
Yeah, very simple. You just laugh about it, talk about it, figure it out. Boom, that's it.
Yeah.
So now it's time to talk some Julio Cy Young. So we're not arguing that Julio should win the Cy Young. We're just saying that just throw his name in there. Just throw his name in there. Give us the top 5 finish and we'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll get some votes. He's the first pitcher to win 18 games in a Dodger uniform since Kershaw did it in 2017. So, that's an amazing accomplishment. And he's got a chance to get 20 plus wins. Yeah, he should easily be in the conversation.
20 plus wins is a little rare nowadays. It's a huge stamp. I would say it's kind of similar to like a hitter. Would you say it's equal to a hitter getting 35 home runs or 40 home runs?
I don't know, because we're seeing guys hit 50 and 60 every year.
It's true. That might not. Okay. So also I have to remember that there is a little bit of luck involved.
Yeah. And I mean, he has to assume that, he gets these wins because the offense helps him out. It's not like he's doing everything. Yeah, there is some luck involved, but no, it's 20 wins is rare and it's an incredible accomplishment if he's able to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that you should judge a pitcher's entire season by, but you throw it on the resume. You say, okay, this is another reason why 2021 worked out perfectly and why idiots like myself who said he should have been in the bullpen, you should never listen to us. You should never listen to me. There's always a takes I have that I'm like, oh yeah, this is why you should listen to what I'm saying, but you shouldn't agree with it.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a talk for another day, but when we get to the postseason, we're going to have 4 pitchers in front of him. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be, or we're going to have 3 pitchers in front of him, excuse me. So it's going to be like, where does Julio fit in? Because he could go to the bullpen. He could stay in the rotation. He could be a hybrid.
I want him starting. I'm sorry. I'm just going to cut that thought. I don't care. I'm just going to impede. Yeah, I want him starting. I don't want him coming in any other spot unless it's to help out the bullpen after he's already started. But give me Julio 6 innings. I don't care.
No, I totally agree with you. And hopefully we wouldn't need him in a 5-game series, but we probably would. But in a 7-game series, yeah, I want that guy starting game 5, game 4, maybe even.
Honestly, I have no idea where I want him. I mean, I'll wait. That's one of those things where it's like every thought about the NLDS, I'll save.
Yeah, we need to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just get through the wild card.
Yeah.
Get through the wild card.
Yeah.
That's it. But I mean, it's just incredible with Julio. Kind of as we start to wrap up on this, but he's like you just mentioned, he's first in wins. He's 10th in ERAs. ERA has dropped below 3. It's now 2.99. 7th in whips. Whip is 1.028. He's 3rd in walks per 9 innings, 1.871. He's 9th in innings pitched, 168. And he's 5th in walks to strikeout ratio. It's 5.143. The most out of all these stats I find most impressive, obviously besides the ERA, is innings pitched. Because like we said, we were like, is this guy just going to be able to give us 4 or 5 innings and then kind of be like a bullpen, like the bulk pitcher they were looking for Mitch White? But no, that's an incredible stat that I find the 9th innings pitched more incredible than being first in wins.
Yeah, I mean, he's been awesome. I mean, yeah, that's pretty incredible. I didn't realize that he was that high in innings pitched, but yeah, he, like last year, he was kind of that bulk innings guy, the Mitch White, David Price guy for us this year. And now he's blossomed into this elite starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who would have thought? I mean, talk about season savers. He's a season saver.
Oh yeah. With all of our injuries to our pitchers, I feel like him and Buehler have been the constant guys, and he's kind of gotten overlooked.
Yeah. It's the fact that he's getting overlooked. anytime you have a pitcher who's that good that gets overlooked, it's actually a good thing.
Yeah, I
It's a
mean,
little
less
frustrating.
pressure. Yeah, less pressure for him. He gets to just go out there and ball, doesn't have to worry about being, like the main face.
But it's also, you want to see him get attention by the lamestream media. Like, you want to see him on Bleacher Report. You want to see him on ESPN. You want to see him on MLB Twitter, on like the MLB account on Twitter and Instagram. But it's okay. It's okay if you just look at the stats.
Yeah, the stats speak for themselves.
Yeah. All right, so then talk about another season saver who has once again just gotten completely ignored, Kenley.
Yeah, and look, I mean, here's what I'm going to say. If it wasn't for like one stretch where Kenley blew some saves and was a little tough, like people would be like, I swear people would be all over him. But just because he had one stretch where he was a little shaky, people think he's like this terrible pitcher still. There's still conversations about, is Kenley the ninth inning guy? I'm sorry, it's not a conversation. He is the ninth inning guy.
Exactly. And since then, like, Trian's given up a few runs and start and outings as well. But since that time, like you just mentioned, during that one bad stretch against the Rockies, against the Giants, it's because it happened against the Giants, and those games are so meaningful. If those games happened against the Diamondbacks or the Reds, or like an out of division team, but a team that wasn't that great. Okay, if this happened against the Marlins, are we going to be saying that Kenley belongs in the dumpster? No. So, and since that stretch as well, so since being booed off the mound on July 22nd, he's had a 1.17 ERA. In his last 21 games, he's had a 1.23 ERA. Hitters are hitting 120 off of him, and he's been 11 for 11 in save opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't allowed a run in 13 appearances, so he is the definition of dialed in. Like, he is dialed in, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
But I will always disagree and say, oh yeah, well, the reason why he's doing good is because we booed him. If you see, like, is classic Dodger fans, you just mentioned earlier, where there's some of them that it's so much better if I just didn't have, as far as Dodger fans go, where it's so much better if I just talked about them in person, never knew they existed. And that's like the only Dodger fans were the ones I met in person.
Yeah, no, it would be. Life would be a lot easier as a Dodger fan.
Just, this is why I'm so happy I gamble, which is a very strange thing to say, but you lose a lot, like, because it gives you a good scope of other teams. And I think that's a problem with Dodger fans, and especially if they're a fan of LA sports right now, because everything's all hunky-dory. But when you gamble on Coastal Carolina or the over in the Oregon-Ohio State game and it loses by a single point, then you realize that you're going to lose a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Just ask an Angels fan, would you be okay with going to would you be disappointed with 9 straight playoff berths?
Dude, if the Angels had 2 straight playoff berths, they'd be partying in the streets.
Exactly. Imagine telling a Mariners fan, God damn it, I'm pissed off we got the wild card spot. He said, and the Mariners fan is like, wait, I haven't been to the playoffs since 2001.
Oh man, I'm so mad. In my 9th straight playoff appearance, I have to play a wild card game. Ugh.
It's delusional.
It's just ridiculous.
So now, I mean, we've been kind of hinting at it, but now we're going to actually talk about the wild card, and specifically one of the opponents that we might easily see in that game, the Reds. It's literally on to Cincinnati come Friday.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big series. It obviously means more for the Reds because they're still fighting for their postseason spot. We're in already. We don't have to worry. But look, they're one game out. We have a chance here to end their season. If we walk in there and sweep like we have been the last 2 series and put them 4 games out, or assuming the Cardinals lose 3 in a row, like, we have the potential to end the Reds season.
And this is a Reds team that actually sucks. They're actually really bad. It's, as far as like pattern of the season goes, got off to a hot start and has just been descending ever since. they've lost 7 straight series in a row. And it's not like they've been playing the Brewers on 2 different occasions, or they had to go and face the Rays in interleague play. No, they lost to the Cardinals twice, but that's the best team that they faced. Lost a series to the Cubs, lost a series to the Pirates, lost a series to the Marlins, lost a series to the Tigers. Besides the Cardinals, all those teams are absolutely dog shit.
Yeah, and I mean, they're lucky that the Padres have hit their biggest lull of the season because they're still in it. The Reds are still right there. Nick Castellanos, that guy is honestly the only player in their lineup that would worry me.
It's not a bad lineup. I mean, Jonathan India is really good. He's going to
he is. India is good. I forgot about him.
The rookie of the year. He's the first rookie in MLB history to have at least 20 home runs, 20 hit by pitches, and 10 stolen bases. So he's actually a really productive player where I wouldn't just limit the lineup to Castellanos. Winkler is really good as well. So it's a team that's a little bit dangerous, but besides that, there isn't. Oh, actually, Joey Votto's having a nice revamping.
12 Ks for Scherzer in 8 innings.
Yeah, that was the meme of LeBron smoking the cigarette with the do-rag on?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, just that cocky heading in.
Yeah.
But that's a very sweepable series. It's a very sweepable series.
But it is.
While things are sweepable, it also means big letdown series.
Oh, yeah, it could be. We're talking about, we just won 2 series in a row. Yeah, we just beat the Diamondbacks and the Padres. And look, the Padres are, like we said, in their worst stretch of the year, and the Diamondbacks are the worst team in baseball. So I don't want to overreact to winning 6 in a row, but I also don't want to downplay it because it's nice.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But this smells like a series where we walk into Cincinnati and in our first game, we go like 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position.
That's exactly. And like Luis Castillo shuts us down.
Yeah. 7 scoreless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So that's the wrap up for episode 28. If you'd like to follow myself on social media, you can find me at Matt Weiner20 on Instagram and Twitter. If you'd like to follow Edward on his social media, you can find him on Instagram and Twitter at Edward_Vento. But if you have absolutely no care in the world for anything we have to say, then make sure to follow the OK Takes pod. So you can find OK Takes on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at OK Takes pod. That is OKAY Takes pod. OKAY Takes pod. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and have a wonderful day.